Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to JJ's PC Build. You know it is JJ with you once again. If it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds. And my veteran subscribers, as always, much love to you for all that you do, watching videos from beginning to end and helping support the channel. And telling your friends to come on down and subscribe. Okay. Now, today, you all know what today is, and I'm going to tell you what today is. It's called Graphics Card Nightmares, right here on JJ's PC Builds. So we're going to go ahead and dive in and see what's going on for this week. So let's go to the action screen and see what we got cooking. We'll go ahead and bring up some DuckDuckGo for you. There we go. We'll bring it all in. So, reason why people ask me the question, what's the reason why I, turn that on right there? And what's the reason why that, I turn this on right there? Well, that's so that way you all can you're not distracted by what's going on in the background. So I turn those on so it makes it look nice and clean too. So let's go ahead and go to Amazon. See what they got cooking. Go right here to Amazon. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and go down here. I always tell y'all to go to the all button, and where it says computers, click on that. Sorry, I had to pause for the moment because I sneezed my head off. Okay, let's go back and go into computers, click on gaming, whatever tabs you have working in the background. Basically, the stuff that I type in is, it is what it is. So this way, it makes it quicker to get in there and get out of there and, done. Okay, I don't know this one right here. It's 4 gigabytes. I doubt I'm going to be messing with it. 1660 Super. Now, 169. Listen, 170 bucks. Right? You could put towards a 30 or 40 series. Don't waste your time on these small little, 1600, 1660, whatevers. Okay. AMD's already going to start dropping the RX 580 series. They're already going to start dropping, their smaller series. They're already doing it on some other software as well. So they might be coming to Windows very soon and start dropping off the older model series and making them go extinct. Now, NVIDIA's already done a few, but they've done something good this week, and, they're basically, this is, I got some more news for y'all. Just have to be here for tomorrow on the live feed, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you're here on the live feed. We're going to touch in a little bit about these older cards, just to let you know. So that's what's on the cooking list. So let's move on down the road. I just let's get through, all these, and I'll come up with my final thoughts. So make sure you stay to the end as well. 3060, 289, you can get it, but there's still cards out there. If you're going to pay close to $300, kind of look for a better card at $300. This is how I use my judgment: is when I see older cards like this for that price, what can I get better than, for that price, for a $300 mark? Okay, back a long time ago, I said, $200 mark was sufficient, but, for the gameplay now these days, I just want to stay between the $300 and the $600 mark. Those newer graphics cards, I'm not going to be worried about. The ones that are like from 600 and up, those are not my focus. My focus are the ones from 600 and down, from between 300 and 600 bucks. Okay, the reason why I'm saying that is because that's like the low tier and the intermediate tier kind of quality that you're looking for. So that's what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on older cards, 6,000 series, 7,000 series, and AMD bracket. Focused on the 30 series and the 40 series that's on NVIDIA's side. Even though NVIDIA's got something else cooking under their sleeves and they're not telling everybody. Those super cards, if the rumor comes up true, then we'll focus on that. But for right now, I'm not focused on that. I'm looking at the 30s. They keep bringing up the 3060s. The 580s. I know I said to everybody, the 580s are a good entry level card, but with them getting ready to go extinct, I'm not going to recommend them as an entry level card anymore. The 10 series, I'm not really going to recommend them either. Okay. Now, I'd rather stick towards the newer models. If you guys are finding some newer models that are like the 20 series, in the 20 series somewhere, or the 30 series, 20 series, I might stretch it, but I'm not going to stretch it too far like that. And tell you all that, the prices are going to be great and everything else and, blow smoke up your butt. I'm not going to do that. Okay. So, even looking at the 3060, if you go and let's do this. Let's look at the 3060, right? It's the RTX 3060 specs. Okay, so what we're doing is we're gonna take and we're gonna go on this. Okay, now looking at that and looking at the RTX 4060 RTX 4060 specs. Okay. Now, even though that the 3060 has 3,584 cores, 112 TMUs, 48 ROPs, 12 gigabytes, and GDR6 with 192-bit bus, looking between the 3060 and the 4060, you can see a big difference between the two. I can see the reason why everybody's talking about, the 3060, having a competitor of the 4060, but with the 4060, unless it's the 16 gigabyte version, this card still doesn't make sense to me. The 4060 does not make sense to me. So for me to recommend the 4060, they need to get this to a 256-bit bus. GDR6 is fine. And make, make this more sensible, because the cores don't make sense. None of this makes sense. Okay, for the price point. And I know it's for $300, but I mean, you know, 29 more dollars, you get an X16 board. It's Ampere, yes. And it's still available. It's still active. And, let's see where the 4060 is from the 3060. Okay. So right here, this says it's 18% faster than the 3060. 18% faster. But if you look right here, the 2080, now, why is the 2080 1% faster than the 4060? Now, let's go back and look at the RTX 2080. And everybody crapped on the 2080s. Everybody crapped on the 2080s. They said, oh, it wasn't that bad. It was bad and everything else. Okay, well, it's a $700 card. So I can see why they crapped on this card. I can really see why. It's a $700 card. It's got 3.0 X16. I can really see it. Truthfully, the 2080, I can see why everybody did that. But it still shows 1% faster than the 4060. This just doesn't make sense. This is crazy. So you're telling me this card, the 2080 here is close to equal to the 4060. Oh, wow. For price difference, if you go look up, well, we'll get to that. You get the point. Okay, let me go back. You get the point. Okay, there are cards that are faster than the 4060. So for 300, let's say on the used price, the 2080, you're still going to be paying $400 or $500. So in this price point, for it being 1% faster, it doesn't. This makes more sense than the 2080. So that's just to be honest with you. 4060 doesn't really make sense to me at all because of the usage. You can get some benefits like DLSS 3 and all that with it, but for the 8 gigabytes and the amount of speed, I'm staying with the 4070. So 4070 makes more sense to me as it's middle of the band to where it's between low and high tier. So it makes more sense to me being right there. Gives me a little bit of low side, a little bit of the high side. Some of these cards on these prices make no sense. I mean, the 4060 Ti at $400. This 4060 is TI is easily should be a $300 card. Should be a $300 card. The X8 should be a $300 card, and they should have did the X16 at $400. And then they should have did the 4060 as a $200 card, as an entry card for $200. That would have made more sense. this right here, this just doesn't make sense on Amazon today. Prices are going up. And I want to let you know that. Prices are going up because by the time the holiday season ends and next year begins, these prices are going to be higher than, and I've said this on quite a few videos ago, but quite a few videos that the prices are going up. And I predicted they were going to go up. So, and I was correct. So on that prediction, I know that, it's not going to be great. So let's go to Newegg. Even though I don't buy from Newegg, I do if I have to, but I don't if I don't need to. But everybody likes coming to Newegg too, so I bring you all here to see what's cooking on the graphics cards. So this way you all can see week for week what's going on here. Okay. So there's no mystery. There's no BS. There's no price comparison. It's just plain old prices, and you see what they are now, today. I'll tell you what, after I get done with the video, I take and put my little stuff in there, and then I take and I finalize the editing, and then I send it to you all. So, and after that, you all get to watch it. So, I don't edit my videos, and if I do, I will tell you all I'm going to be editing the video. Because comes a time or two that, I really don't want to edit the videos because I want you all to see what's going on from A to Z. And if I edit the videos, then it takes away the feeling that I'm trying to put into this to let y'all know what's going on. So let's keep moving on before this time runs out, because we're on a time constraint today. 3070 Ti, 8 gigabytes, $400. See, they still got these 8 gigabyte cards so high. They're not realizing what they're doing. I mean, the 8 gigabyte cards, people are not going to pay for it much anymore. See, like at $599, you get the 6950 XT. That would be the same MSRP as the 4070. So, and plus this runs fast. This runs a little bit faster than the 4070. But between software wise, I can tell you it's an older card. And, when support runs out on these cards and they discontinue them, you got to figure that the 4070 is going to have a couple more years after the fact of the 6950 XT, and it's still going to have support. To where the support will run out on the 6950 XT, and then guess what? You're left with a brick. Because it can't update or anything else, because if you go to update, it won't allow it. So that's something to think about. When you buy a graphics card, you want to be able to get one that you can take 5 years, and then, after you get one for that first 5 years, you save up for that 5 years again to get you your next graphics card, which will take you to the next level. Okay, we'll jump you a couple steps, but it will take you to that next level of gaming. And plus, you get to enjoy 5 years of solid gaming with your graphics card that you bought. I mean, that's the reason why I go every 5 years, is because what else do I need for my gaming level? What else do I need? Okay, just because it's got 12 gigabytes of VRAM does not mean that I can't, use the card. Because, like, most of the games I play only use 8 gigabytes of VRAM. That's it. So I'm still left with 4 gigabytes of VRAM. I don't play those heavy, intense games, that you need more than 12 gigabytes, like you need 16 to 24 gigabytes. Then that comes to the fact of you buying a brand new card, which the brand new card consists of the 4090 or the 7900 XTX. I mean, if you're going to play that level of gaming, then those are the cards you're going to need. And you're going to think you're going to be spending like $2,500, between $1,500 and $2,500 just for a graphics card. I cannot see paying that, because that is like, basically, if I'm paying $2,500 for a graphics card, that's like buying 2 computers, full computers with graphics cards in one. So I'm not into paying that kind of money. And I know the consumers out there are not into paying that kind of money, just for a single graphics card. Some will buy it because they got that kind of money. But there are some people that don't have that kind of money and they can't spend it for that. They're lucky just to get by with a $1,000 system, or they're lucky just to get by with a $500 system. I mean, the days of brand new systems below $400 to $500 is extinct. Because with the newest motherboards and everything else that's out, your decent system that you can find is going to be at $1,000. I hate to tell you that, because that is true. It's going to be a full system at $1,000 is going to be nice, not an entry level, but give you a nice intermediate level. You get intermediate level gaming, basically. Okay. If I wanted to take and change everything up on the motherboard here, I can go to the 7000 series, but I'm not doing the 7000 series. That's not where you need to save your money. If you really want to save your money, look at this. Get Alan Wake 2 with the selected GeForce RTX 40 series limited offer. $549.99, $550. Okay, so now you get a game that probably costs $50, and then you got a GPU that costs $600 MSRP. So now you get both the GPU and the game. Let's say for $650. Now you get it down to $550. So now if you minus off the $50, you got a $500 graphics card with the $50 game. So you're only paying $500 for the graphics card, and you're only paying $50 for the game. Guess what? Now it equals up to the 7800 XT. Go figure. And even though everybody says AMD is the shiz, I'm not doubting that. But what I'm doubting is that their anti-lag plus that they had to discontinue from it. What else are they going to discontinue from those drivers? From that software that's supposedly God's software, it is not. As long as I've been running AMD for years, okay, this is the first year, the actual first year I've actually ran NVIDIA. It's the actual first year I ran NVIDIA over all those years with AMD and Intel. Now I'm running AMD with NVIDIA. I'm going to go back to Intel. Go Intel. We can go Intel, NVIDIA, or we can go AMD. If you're going to do a system, Intel and AMD is going back and forth. be honest with you, they're going back and forth when it comes to the processors. But moving on down the road, we're not talking about that. We're getting off subject. Let's get back to what we're doing. 5500 XT now, and the 6600. I'm not going to recommend them anymore. You know, those tiers, there's no sense of recommending anymore. Really, it's no sense. I mean, you got your newer graphics cards that are coming up to the same price as your, you know, even the 4060 coming up at $300, you know, matching up to the 3060. The 4060 is a lot faster than the 3060s, which I showed you guys earlier. See the 7800 XT, $519.99. And like I said, you can get yourself an NVIDIA graphics card for $500 and get a game with it. This is $519. I really want my GPU to look like that? Fuck no. I want mine all blacked out series. That's the way I like mine, all blacked out series. I don't like having all that RGB, bullshit on my graphics card or my RAM, because that makes it look like a rainbow colored crap. I'd rather have it on my fans, my heat sink for the processor, and a strip underneath, and I'm happy with it. Oh yeah, I'm happy with the way mine looks right now. So, but anyway, moving on down the road, let's keep rolling. And as you can see, the prices are going up. Now, this is kind of ridiculous on that price. This right here, $1,029, MSRP $999, and it's only $30 more. So that's not ridiculous. This right here, 7900 XTX, is still within the parameters of its MSRP, but it doesn't seem to be coming down. And that's even more of a nightmare. Now, $1,800 for this, I can't see spending it. I really can't. I mean, they got the A380. If you're looking for ARC, they got the A380 6 gigabytes, which that's kind of too low for me. So to me, today, Newegg has nothing good. And as far as pricing, the pricing did come up on some things. Like the 4070 Ti, look at this. Okay, the prices did come up. That is a freaking nightmare. Okay, now look at the 6650 XT. Last week it was showing between $229 and $239. Now it's showing $279. Prices are coming up. So if you're gonna buy a new series or an old series, make up your mind. This is the time that you better make your mind up now, because when it hits to the end of the year, to the beginning of next year, you might look at prices going up at least 10 to 15% more. It doesn't seem like it's much, but and looking at the fashion of it, it kind of does look like it's much. 10-15% is a lot out of your pocket. So let's go to eBay. Let's see what goes on eBay today. Graphics cards. E-Waste. What do you got cooking? eBay. Okay. Well, I don't believe in the K80 Teslas. Okay. Those just don't cook for me. 4070, 12 gigabyte, $138. Brand new. Look at this. $138.90. And that's not an auction. Okay. Make sure if you go in here, you look at the details a little bit more carefully, because a 4070 12 gigabyte at $138, you look at this seller info, they didn't sell anything. So, okay, well, they only sold 5 items. They joined October 2023. So basically, they haven't been here and they've only sold 5 items. 9 out of 10 chances it's another Crapix card. But you can take your chances and look through there and see if that's the kind of card you want to get. To me, I really don't think that'll be, what you're looking for, but you might think about it. I mean, anybody would say, okay, well, a 4070 at $138.90, free shipping, come on. Yeah, going from $600 to $138, there's something wrong with it. Okay, just to be honest with you, it could be that they just don't want the card anymore and they're kind of selling their stuff out. You never know. Alienware graphics card, that's what you're looking for. The 4080 16 gigabytes, $1,089.99 MSI. $1,250 card. It's not bad. But it is a nightmare. I need to see them prices down a lot lower than that. 2078 gigabytes, 100. Too much of a nightmare. Like I said, 20 series I won't touch. 30 series I'll deal in, but 20 series I won't touch. Let's see, 3060, 1030s I won't touch. Bad fans, 1070s, minis, and all that. No. Bad fans usually means you stuck your fingers in there too many freaking times. So that means you cleaned it too many times and broke the fans. Not a bad thing, but, or that it overheated, one or the other. So you got a hollow 8 gigabyte. No. Like I told y'all, I'm not really looking for the 8 gigabyte cards anymore. I'm kind of looking for the 12 gigabyte cards. I mean, 4080, $920 a best offer palette. I'm not a fan of palette, but you never know. Oh, that's a dirty card. That's a dirty card. They want $409.97. Look at all the dirt and stuff and all the cosmetic dangers that you got up on that card. I don't know. That wouldn't be something I would touch. 4070 WindForce at $515 or best offer. I would say open box. You opened up the box, then that means you took something out of the box. That means I wouldn't give you more than $300 for that card. You take something out of the box, I wouldn't, the only reason that they do that is they go for the registration part, and try to get a blanket deal on their shit. So, let's see, 3070, no. Well, I can tell you, eBay's got a couple good ones, but it's got some bad ones in there too. So if that's what you like to do, is you like to buy the used, then that's up your alley, but that's not up my alley. I try to stay away. I try to stay in the new factor, but I like looking in the used factor just in case. There's always something good or something bad. Always a nightmare, always not a nightmare. So let's Now go to Micro Center. See, Micro Center always got the pop-ups. And let's go to graphics cards. Okay. Now, let's go to available to ship and see. Let's accept that and get that out of the way. Available to ship. Oh, hell no. See this? Cards they can't get rid of. This is where you're going to find them. This is where they should be putting their discount cards, all in all. This is where they should be putting them. But they don't. You get a 4060 Ti just the same price as a 4070. And they're not thinking about that. So I don't know what's going on with Micro Center today, but Micro Center, kind of wake up on this, man. You guys are selling cards that, you can get a 4070 for the same price with the game, close to it. So, it's kind of wake up and smell the coffee. I mean, look at this. You strap games to the most expensive GPUs that you can find just to make your price point. I don't get it. I really don't. So let's go through the other side to where you got to go in store just to get these items. Let's see, 4070 at $549. You see the difference is the ones that they ship out, they don't want to put, a spectacular game like this card right here, and they don't want to put that in a card that they ship out to you. They want to put the most expensive ones they can't get rid of that they can ship to you. They need to fix that up a little bit, I think. But prices are definitely gone up. I mean, they're going to get much higher. I'm going to tell you, they're going to get much higher. Because that crap that's going on in China, graphics cards prices are going to get a lot higher. And then now you get that, got those two wars over there, it's not going to get cheaper for us over here. I can tell you that. It's not going to get any cheaper. So, and I did it again. Okay. Now, this is going to be my conclusion of what I think this week on Graphics Card Nightmares. Okay, I seen a couple good ones. I seen a couple good cards that had some potential that could get you on your way to having a better gaming. But I've seen a lot of older cards in there that are kind of not valued well at the price to performance. And I can see their prices are starting to rise, and that's becoming a nightmare for all of us. They want to hold the good cards, and they want to hold them hostage at a high price. But they want to take the crappy cards now, and they want to move them up in price to make up for the offset of the newer cards. So basically, they're not losing money. They're not losing their capital. They're selling their capital as they go along, but they're doing it slowly. So this way it looks better for their they're bought, how can I say this? Their business, the people that buy into their business. So they're shareholders. They're trying to make it look good for their shareholders so it doesn't make them look like they're losing any profits by holding that and just bleeding it out little by little and raising the prices at the same time. So you think to yourself, oh, can I get a great graphics card? Can I get a great graphics card? No. Then they give you the finger and they tell you, to go puck off. I said puck, not using the other word. It's either you're going to buy it or you can go have a nice day. That's what they're trying to tell you. It's like, it's not really viable right now to go in that route. It's really not viable. I mean, the prices right now are starting to come up, and it's not going to be viable at all for me to recommend to anybody any great cards. It's because when the prices increase and everything else, it's going to make me look like an ass, trying to recommend, stuff that's not even viable in the price. So, I'm just trying to bring this point crystal clear to y'all. It's going to come to the end of the year, and everybody's saving up for that Black Friday sales and stuff like that. Those are only limited sales. They jack up the price of everything else, do the Black Friday sales back at the same price that you would have bought it back a couple months ago. Makes no sense. It really doesn't. It's not, to me, it's not viable. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not viable for that. It's not viable for them to do like they did last year. They're going to do this every year. It's like the same cycle until we break out of that cycle and say we've had enough. Until we say we had enough with all this overpricing, underperforming cards that they're putting out there. After 20, 30, 40 years, it's just time to break from that. And for them to understand, they need to do something different. I'm taking this couple minutes just to talk to you all about this. They really need to do something different. They need to take the 50-90, make it a 50-20, and start that card off at $299. Instead of them going to the top tier and working their way down, they need to go from the bottom tier and work their way up. And give everybody a better viable card from the bottom up. That's what they don't want to do, and they just keep everybody in this loop of dissatisfaction and everybody being unhappy, and it's not going to work. I mean, if I was in their shoes and I was running their that kind of business, I would be telling them, look, we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up to the top, and we're going to do that every year, so this way we can show everybody that we're making progress. You're not making any progress but starting from the top and working your way down to the bottom, because you're just falling and relying on what you built the first time and duplicating and duplicating and duplicating and duplicating, cut, duplicate, cut, duplicate, cut. You're trying to save a buck by doing the waterfall effect. And it's not viable. The PC gamers are going to tell you this BS you keep rolling down in a waterfall effect is not working. And by filling in the blanks for the rest of the year is not working anymore. That's not what they want you guys to do. They want you guys to start at the bottom and work your way up one at a time to the top. Instead of making cards that are, top tier, make your one top tier card and then you just trickle it down in a waterfall effect, which makes no sense on the pricing anyway, because if you're building and stacking one by one, then you're stacking positively. That shows everybody that you're taking and building from that architecture up. That means you're putting more cores to it. That means you're stacking. You're stacking, making it better. And then everybody's sitting there watching you make it better. But you guys start right at the top of the line. Like AMD starts out at 7,900 and then waterfalls shit all the way down. But what they did is they waterfalled a little bit to the top down, then they stacked a couple up to the bottom upwards, then they waterfalled down a little bit more, then they stacked up a little bit more. They went back and forth until they got to the middle card, which turned out to be shit. Because of the driver and the software and everything else everybody's complaining about, there it is again. It's the reason why they're having these problems. Is because they don't start from the bottom and work your way up. And then when it comes to your software, you just boom, all at one time. They all get one series, gets one whole shot of one set of software. Instead, you do it here, split there. No, you're splitting hairs. Everybody wants the performance of that whole series. Lump it together and go boom. There you go. Now you're getting the updates for every one of these cards in this series. But they don't do that. They don't tell you to get your drink and snacks, neither. Like I do. So, because I tell you it's going to be a long video, it's going to be a long video. And I know you guys don't only want me to do 20-minute videos, but you know what? There's so much information out there, I have to get it into this video. So, I have to get it to you, and that's just as simple as that. But what's simple as that is, don't forget to, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then please do subscribe. We welcome you to the family. If you did subscribe, welcome to JJ's PC Builds. And my veteran subscribers, as always, much love to you for all that you do, helping support the channel. We're going to go ahead and we're going to jump out of here. We don't want the video to go to 50 minutes, which it's already going to be going to 50 minutes today. It's kind of a long one. I had a lot to say today. I had a lot to show, and I hope you stayed to the end, and I do appreciate it if you did. So until the next time and the next video, this is JJ on JJ's PC Builds. We will see you on, and don't forget about the live tomorrow, 4 p.m. We will see you there.